What's going on, guys? Darren Higgins here. Today, what I'm going to do is break down one of the most complicated beginner chords to learn on guitar, and that's going to be the B chord. And as you can see, it is a complicated chord to play, just pretty much because of the position your hand has to be in. It's not a smooth transition for a lot of people, and it takes a little more practice to get there. So today I've got 6 versions of the B chord that we're going to be breaking down, and hopefully one of these will be easier for you to play, and so you can learn some of those songs that you've been wanting to learn. So here we go. So as far as the B major chord, there's 2 common ways that most people learn how to play it, and so that's going to be in the second position. So what you do, you'll see the chord diagram here, but it's basically going to be index finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret, and then you're going to put middle finger on, actually it's going to be middle, ring, and pinky finger all on the 4th fret on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings. Okay, so it's going to look like that. And you only play strings 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you mute string 6 and string 1. Okay, so that one's pretty hard to get to. It's tight, squeezing all 3 of those fingers into that fret. And so another version of that is going to be at the 7th position. So you move your hand down to the 7th fret, okay, and you basically move everything up 1 string. So index finger on the 7th fret, 6th string, and then you come over here, but instead of all 3 fingers being on the 9th, you'll have your middle finger on the 8th fret, 3rd string. You'll have your ring finger on the 9th fret, 5th string, and your pinky on the 9th fret, 4th string. Okay, so it gives it a little bit more room, and the only trouble with this one is you use this index finger to hold down this whole bar over here. So you do play all 6 strings here. I prefer this one for the full B major chord. I just think it has a little better ring to it, but it is a little tougher. And by the end of a song, your hands are going to be a little cramped up the first couple times you do it. So those are the 2 basic ones that most people learn on. And now what we're going to do is break down some alternate versions that should be a little easier. Now what we'll do is we'll look at the first alternate, which is going to be index finger on the 2nd fret, 1st string. Okay, and then you're going to take your ring, middle, and pinky finger and put them on the 4th fret, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings. So it looks familiar because it is, right? So these 3 fingers are the same as that first bar chord I showed you, but instead of this index finger being on the 5th string, you bring it down and put it on the 1st string, and you only play the bottom 4 strings. So this one is a little bit easier because you don't have to do that stretch with the index finger. A little easier on the hands. It doesn't have as big of a sound because you're taking away the bass note, but it still sounds pretty good. Okay, so that is one alternate to the major B chord here. That'll be a little bit easier, a little quicker to learn. And then we'll skip over to the next one. So on the next alternate chord, it's going to look similar to the first one as well. All right, so index finger on the 2nd fret, 5th string, and then you bring your ring and your pinky over here on the 4th fret. But you don't do anything with this middle finger. It's just kind of hanging out there, okay? And so what you do there is you actually don't play the top string, and you play the bottom 2 open, okay? So what that is here again, the B major, you just don't have to squeeze all 3 fingers onto that 4th fret. You only got to put 2 fingers onto it, okay? Which is better to do the pinky and the ring, and then play them bottom 2 strings open. And quick side tip here, if you want to mute that top string on like a B chord like this, instead, you can't really wrap your thumb around it, and it's hard to just target the bottom 5 strings sometimes. So what I do is I use just the tip of my index finger. I'm making my string, or making my note on the 5th fret, or the 5th string. I'm making my note on the 5th string, but I push up just ever so slightly against that 6th string. See, there's my 6th string, and then 5th string. So I actually mute with this finger when I'm playing. Okay, just a little side note there. Those are the 2 major ways to play it, the 2 alternates, and now we're going to go into the 3-note versions of the chord. So we'll get even a little bit more simpler. But what I've come to understand on guitar is sometimes the simpler you go, the less sound you get. So there is some sacrifice there you have to give. But if you're beginning to learn, or if you just struggle with making a B chord, these are some good alternates that can work for you. So the first 3-note chord we'll do, it's going to be index finger on the 2nd fret, 1st string, and then you go down here to the 4th fret, and you'll do the 2nd and 3rd string. Okay. So here again, just another version, right? So the one we showed a while ago had all 3 fingers on the 4th fret. Pull one of them off. The kicker there, though, is you cannot play but the bottom 3 strings. Right? If you don't mute the top 3, what you end up with is, even if you just mute 4 and 5, or 5 and 6, but you don't mute 4, it's not right. So you have to just play the bottom 3 strings when you're doing this. Okay. All right, so that's one version of the 3-note, and another one is going to be down here on the 7th and 8th fret. So go down to your 7 and 8 again, and what you can do is index finger on the 7th fret, 2nd string, middle finger on the 7th fret, 1st string, and then ring finger on the 8th fret, 3rd string. So here again, you're just playing the bottom 3 strings. You can't play the top ones. It'll sound way, way off. So okay. So those are the 6 ways to play the B chord. What I would recommend is you can start with the 3 chord or the 3-note variations, but really work your way into being able to get more of the full chord. Each chord has its own place, but you just need to make sure you're taking the time to learn and just work on continuously improving, right? So you can see that most of those go from a 3-note, build 1 finger onto that, and then you get the alternate, and then you add another finger or just move a finger and you get the full chord, right? So it's a progressive way to learn. So start with a 3-note, step up to the alternate, and then step up to the full chord if that's going to be best for your learning, okay? And so once you learn the chord, that's just a piece of it. You have to learn how to incorporate it into chord changes. All right, so what you do there is typically a lot of times B is going to be it's going to sound good with an E or an A chord. So what I would do is just practice switching from an E to an A and then to a B. So if you want to start with a 2-note, so it'd be like a 3-note, sorry, a 3-note. So just keep those transitions going and just practice that until you can transition smoothly. All right, guys, so that's going to be it. That's going to be your 6 different ways to play a B chord, ranging from a 3-note easy method all the way up to the full bar chords for a B. So whatever your skill level is, wherever you're at in your playing, that's okay. Just work on building up to be able to do those full chords, and just keep learning. So that's all I've got today. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see another chord breakdown or any other guitar tips or anything like that, just put that in the comments down below. And if you like what you've seen here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day, and God bless.